Hey, it's Shar.
And this is Denver.
And we're just like that. Welcome to the unofficial recap podcast for Max's original series, And Just Like That. We're so excited. Denver,
So excited.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so let's get things started. All right, Denver, here we are. Season 3, episode 11, Forget About the Boy. But before we launch into this recap.
Go ahead.
Before we launch into the recap for this episode, I know that your phone, I imagine that your notifications blew up last Friday, August 1st, as mine did, from friends and fans.
Yeah.
It was announced via Michael Patrick King, who is the showrunner of And Just Like That, that the third season will unfortunately be the final season of our show. And then SJP wrote a nice little... Okay, so we're saving this for the show. Denver and I did not talk about this prior. We wanted to save this for the show. It's also ironic that we just talked about the Hate Watchers last episode. And now there's a collective mourning
They all
online.
love it now.
Right.
Motherfuckers.
I personally, Denver, I am not surprised by this news. However, I think that they could have squeezed one more season out. We could have gotten one more season. We could have gotten. And part of me is squinting because I think that both Michael Patrick King and Sarah Jessica Parker are leaning into this online temperature that this was planned, but I do not believe it was planned based on the writing this season. It seems like I do not believe that this was planned. I feel like the writing this season was setting us up. It didn't get final season. They had an opportunity to do so much more if this were the final season. I feel like the pacing would have moved faster. You know, we had some filler episodes. I feel like that premiere would have been a bit more intentional. I just do not believe that this cancellation was planned. I feel like that's how they're selling it, but I don't believe that was the intention when they sat down for the season 3 writer's room.
Well, I can see it going two ways. Like, one, of course, I'm crushed. I was hoping that we would get maybe 5 seasons. Like, I really wanted an Aidan free season, and then I wanted just a balls to the wall, just like throw it out, anything goes season. So I was hoping for 5, but I was really happy we got a second season, because after the first season, it was so mixed. The reception was so mixed. I was surprised we got 2. So to be at 3, I'm like, I'm grateful. I could believe that this was written to be the last season, only because as he explained it, he said, as I finished this episode, I thought we could end it here. Right. So I don't think they did set out to end it here, but I think, midway through they were like, you know what, we can close it out. And that might explain why some of the stuff in the earlier episodes didn't really make sense. It didn't go anywhere. Maybe they retroactively took shit out because they realized we're not going to be able to wrap some of this up. So maybe that's why we did get filler episodes,
Well, I still feel like, to your point, I can see that, but I still feel like they're not going to tie every loose end unless we get surprised, while you're on vacation next week, we get on this app and we see that the series finale is an hour and 15 minutes long, which we might see.
Could be.
We might see that. Because I was surprised by how short this episode was. But listen, you all, Denver and I are just as devastated. We were kind of rocked by this. And I really am going to hate to see these characters go, because they sounded like, I can't recall any former announcements, but this sounded so final.
I was we're not doing this shit again. Like, we're done. Even SJP, she was like, Michael and I, we decided, like we did however many years ago, to say goodbye. Well, we're doing it again. I'm like, oh, goodbye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But damn, can I get a LTW spinoff or something?
I'm mourning. And I know that we have 6 seasons of the original, series and 2 films, and now 3 seasons of And Just Like That. But I'm not ready to let these characters go yet. I'm just not.
I mean, they've been around for such a large portion of my life. It's gonna feel kind of weird.
Yeah. And to your point, I have not gone back to rewatch the first season in a while, but I have friends that have, and they say that the first season was just a totally different show. Carrie and the hip replacement and Big Dying. It was very, they put some youth back into these ladies compared to that first season. That first season was very geriatric.
Yeah.
And I vaguely remember it, but when you go back and watch, I imagine that some things come up for you. But just to put a cap on this, listen, we saw you all's messages. We lightly talked about it. We were not expecting this. I was glad we got our episode out when we did.
Yo, I think we put it up, and then I think maybe like 20 minutes later, I saw the post, and I sent it to you, and I was like, "Char, say something." And I'm like, "Oh, wait, she's
no, you were the first person that
I was like, she had a bunch of shit to do today, so I was like, fuck, she's probably in a meeting or something. No. Yeah.
When you sent it to me, I was actually filming a podcast. One of my friends is working on a podcast. And so I was filming that Friday morning. But I was, like I said, I felt indifferent when I saw the post. And then like the more I thought about it, and I think the more people wrote me, I was like, I'm getting really sad about it.
That was my reaction too. When I sent it to you, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. It's ending. Well, we had a feeling it was going to end at some point. And then as time went on, I was like, wait, I think the gravity of what it meant kind of started to sink in, and I was like, oh man.
And missing the new characters, like we were just falling in love with LTW and Seema.
That's the other thing, and I'm sure it's going to come up in the speak pipes. Just as it started to get good, just as things started to make sense, just as we started getting into the swing of things that were satisfying, it's going to end.
It's incredibly frustrating, but we got one more episode, and then I think Denver, correct me if I'm wrong, we're going to give them a bonus episode after the finale the week after.
I think
and then our final curtain call.
A series finale. Oh, I'm sad again.
I wanted to address something that I thought was interesting. Did you know that the actress that plays Mia is the daughter of Ben Stiller?
No.
Did you know this? And that her grandmother is an actress. Her grandmother is named Anne, I think it's Mira, and she played Steve's mother in Sex and the City.
That's so funny.
So full circle moment, right? In a weird, twisted way. She's since passed on, but she played Steve's mother on the 5th season of Sex and the City, and she is the daughter of Ben Stiller and Christine Taylor. And now she's Brady's baby mama.
How the hell did you find that out?
I just, it hit the Sex and the City blogs really just, and I did some digging, and I was like, wow, this is smart casting, and it's kind of funny. I did want to ask you this though, before we launch into our speak pipes, because we got quite a few this week, of course.
As I can imagine.
One of my friends asked me, and this is a prediction for the next episode for the finale. Do you think that we're going to get a Michelle Obama cameo in the finale, in the series finale?
No.
Okay.
No.
I said, I don't know. I don't know.
It's possible.
It's very possible.
But
because it's still open-ended. We don't have a button on LTW's documentary or the Marion storyline. That's what makes me think that this was not planned.
My man.
We haven't seen Marion in 2 episodes. And that's a big plot that they were building for LTW.
True.
We talked, the entire first few episodes, it was Grace quitting, and the executives were coming in and they want Michelle Obama. So I was like, I was rubbing my hands together when one of my friends asked me
she's probably just gonna realize that she was making a mistake and go back to her man, and then that's it. You know what I mean? Like, they're just gonna give us some dumb ending.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if First Lady Michelle Obama was a fan of this show. And pops in maybe on a Zoom call like Susie Essman did last week or something. I don't know.
I could see that.
We'll see. Yeah, I can too. But I wanted to ask you that. I thought that was pretty funny. Now, excuse me, you all taking in so much air.
It happens.
Okay. Are you ready to get into our speak pipes?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, 6, you said?
We have 6. And from what I'm seeing, we have 2 from Remarvelous, 2 from Nash, and then 1 from Cindy and 1 from Tiffany. So we'll start with Tiffany and then go down the line. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, let's hear what Tiffany had to say.
Hey, Shar in Denver. This is Tiffany. I was just leaving you all a message
Mhm.
before the end of the series. As you know, we've all received the notification that the series is ending. Can't say I'm surprised or disappointed. As a matter of fact, in the last 3 weeks, I have listened to the pod and not actually watched the episode and have been just fine. I have really thoroughly enjoyed listening to you all for the last 3 seasons. I want to give y'all extra work to do and say, please, please do a podcast together, something together, because we really enjoy hearing you two together. I just wanted to give you all y'all's flowers before the show is over. Thank you.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Oh,
I'm
thank you, Tiffany.
I'm not going to
That means
start,
so
Denver.
much.
I'm not going to start.
Oh, you already know when the show ends. You know I'm going to be on here in full tears, right? Like I'm about to turn the cameras off
I'm not going to
because
start,
I
but
am a crier.
that's very very sweet, and it's
Very
quite
touching.
comical that you haven't watched the last 3 episodes, but you've tuned into this sloppy show.
I mean, I guess you do a good job of you do a great job of recapping what's going on. So
Thank
I can
you.
see how
Thank you.
that
You
could
do
be.
as well, my friend. Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
just
Thank you.
feel I can it's feeling very final. But thank you, Tiffany. Let's move
Yeah.
on to Cindy, who I think we've heard from before.
Mm.
Hey, Denver and Shar, Cindy here. I'm sure we've all heard the news by now of the show ending. I was at work when I found out, and I was so upset. I didn't expect the show to go on for like 10 seasons or anything, but I feel like with season three specifically, they finally just found their footing. And I would have liked just at least one more season. And at this point, I feel like we're gonna get a solid ending, like I said, just because outside of episode one, the rest of the season has been really strong. So I feel like at least Michael Patrick King will not let us down and end the season well. But I'm still just really upset. Either way though, I'm going to echo the speak pipe that was from a few weeks ago as far as like, outside of this show, I know you all have obviously your full-time jobs, but if you all were ever to entertain the thought of doing another joint podcast together, you will have a like and subscribe from me. And one last thing, shout out to the friend zone and specifically Dustin Ross, because he was the one that mentioned you guys like a few years ago on their show, and that's how I started listening to you all. So I'm excited that I was brought here from them, and let's finish out the season with a bang.
Thank you,
Oh
Cindy.
yes, thank you, Cindy.
And shout out to Dustin and Asante and Fran over there on the friend zone.
Yeah.
Those are my babies.
Yes, the
Those are my
homies.
babies. I love all three of them. And that was very sweet. I hope that the finale will be good. Full disclosure, I did watch. I was surprised, very surprised that they gave us a teaser for next week. Because
Oh,
if
tell me
it
at the
were up
end.
to
Tell me
me,
at the
I would
end.
have left it dry.
Me
But they
too.
gave us a teaser. It didn't look like this was planned. I'm gonna
Okay.
stick on
Okay.
it. It just looked like
Okay.
a regular to do. Okay, thank you, Cindy. That was very sweet. And so now we have two from Nash and two from Remarvelous, and then we can launch into our official recap. So
Cool.
let's take a listen to what Nash had to say.
Hey Shar, hey Denver, hey everyone, it is Nash. So, jumping right in, I thought that the wrap up of Carrie and Duncan, or maybe what we think is the wrap up, was so sweet and so special when she realized that Duncan was the first or one of the first men to notice her smarts first outside of her sexiness or cuteness. It really made me reminisce on all of my past relationships, and I thought it was just so touching and special and something I definitely want to talk to my friends about and bring up over a round of drinks on our next girls' night. I did not appreciate, just overall, I hate when they keep saying baby mama. That could be the mother of his child. She doesn't have to be baby mama. Come on. And then also, Seema knocking over the plant, unnecessary. I really do not appreciate how they are making Seema, the bad bitch, act like a 16-year-old. She reminds me of how I used to act like, oh, I hate boys. Ugh, boys are gross. When boys had crushes on me in elementary and middle school. Why are they making her act like a teen? I don't get it. She's too bad of a bitch for it. But either way, thanks, guys. Love to hear everyone else's thoughts.
Well, my personal opinion on that is I think that Seema is acting this way because Seema has never experienced a relationship or
That's
a love
exactly
like
what I was
this.
gonna say. That's exactly
And
what I was gonna say.
yeah. And
Yeah.
sometimes, we revert, the body keeps score. You can revert to some childlike ways. I'm just saying, like, when you have something that you don't think is possible for you, or something that maybe you have just totally written off. Like, I know so many people that have just sworn off dating because the dating pool is tragic. And, someone falls out of a coconut tree and really wows you and kind of checks off all your boxes, you can revert back to being a little 16-year-old. That's
sure.
my thought on it. This is Nash part 2.
Hey, Denver. Hey, Shar. Look, I'm sitting here folding my clothes and listening to the episode. Shar, when you drop that Iyanla quote, "'Cause if you do it to her, then you'll do it to me." When I tell you I screamed. The scream that I screamed, because goodbye. I can't. Goodbye.
You are good for an Iyanla quote. You really are.
Listen, that used to be my pastor. I love me some Iyanla Van
What is she
Zandt.
up to these days? Do we know?
She is hosting retreats. She used to have a podcast on the Shondaland network. And last I checked, she was like hosting retreats and doing what we do. Like she's like going live and doing
everybody.
this. I mean, everybody's, the pivot is in independent media. I should mention I'm here in Cleveland for NABJ's 50th anniversary. And we're having, it's a lot of interesting conversations. I spoke on a panel earlier this morning about like finding your beat in culture reporting, but it's been a lot of interesting conversations surrounding the direction of media.
Is the tone hopeful? Is it optimistic? Are we walking around the conference with a positive outlook for the future?
Yeah, for the most part, yes.
Okay,
but people are still being very honest. And I know I talked to a young man who is graduating from Florida A&M University this December. And I told him, he was asking for advice. I said, get an internship. He's already done one. I said, get one for this last semester. Get one for this last semester. Get one. Because it's going to serve, if it's done right, and if there's room, it's going to serve as the perfect launching pad as you get that piece of paper and get pushed out into the cold, hard world. You'll have that fresh establishment there, that fresh networking. But I've been talking to a lot of students, and it's been a mixed bag. It's a fun conference. I've been having a good time.
Oh, I'm sure.
But it's
Miss President.
Madam President.
Madam President.
Okay, so Remarvelous left us too, and then we'll launch into, oh my God, we're 20 minutes in. And then we'll launch into the recap. Okay, this is Remarvelous.
Hi, Denver. Hi, Shar. Remarvelous is back. So this will actually be in reference to episode number 9 because it was major. A bitch got busy, and I meant to call y'all last week, but I had things to do. And with the cancellation of our show and our girls, I am sick. So I can't. I can't. I literally shed a tear. So let's just get into the major plot of this episode, which was Carrie dumping that ashy ass nigga Aidan. Nigga, get your shit, and get out, okay? Because I'm about to burn it down like Left Eye. How you gonna tell me to get up out of my bed, okay, in the house that I pay for, in my house? We not doing that, okay? Now, when she told that man, how dare you, it was giving you beast. How dare you? And I am so proud of Spicy Carrie. It just hurts my heart and my spirit now to know that with the cancellation of our show and our girls, this is the end of these characters. This is the end. Especially when we're talking about Lady 60 plus. You know what comes next? Death. And I just want to say I am thankful for what we had because beggars can't be choosy. And we had 3 seasons, 32 episodes to see our girls, but I get it. They are over 60, and the criticism was just becoming too much, especially coming from Gen Z, because how dare y'all love my.
Oh, it cuts off there.
I knew that was going to happen.
Gen Z don't have a dog in this fight. They don't know these characters, but
they don't know shit.
to Marvelous's point, I am gonna miss Spicy Carrie. I'm loving the direction of where she's going.
I'm telling you, we need an entire season of just Spicy Carrie out and about.
I was thinking before I play Marvelous's second part, I was thinking, you know how Malcolm Lee, the creator of The Best Man, just released a book that's like based off of one of the fictional books in the show. What if they should probably release, like, I would love to read Carrie's books. I would love to read this novel about the woman in 1846.
I wouldn't be mad.
Like, I would buy them.
Yeah,
I would buy Carrie's books funny. If they did that.
Somebody said, and if you haven't seen SJP's farewell note on Instagram, go look at it because it's very moving. But somebody said, it's hilarious to me how SJP is a much better writer in real life than Carrie is in the show. And it tickled me because she absolutely is.
Well, she also does a lot of reading.
So maybe she should write the book.
This is Marvelous's part 2, and then we'll launch into the show.
Cool.
Hi, Denver. Hi, Shar. Marvelous is back for my doubleheader. It's been a sad week knowing that this is it for our girls, but I had to come back and talk about episode 10. Brady got the discipline that he needed when he was fucking up and down his parents' house. Steve telling him that he was going to lay him the fuck out. Little boy, shut up and listen to what your father has to say. It is what it is. Miranda is getting the karma that she dished out when she was treating Mary and Steve like shit when she got pregnant with Brady. It is what it is. Anthony and Giuseppe. Anthony looks really good for his age. That's the reality for a lot of gay men. You can just tell he don't moisturize, so a little bit of lotion will have that skin looking good. Okay? You better buckle up and get ready to pay for that, boy. Seema, she sabotages her relationships. Picking. Girl, get over it. Carrie, Duncan, thank you for seeing our girl. A fairy tale, these cinched waist silhouettes. She is a dream floating and gliding over that water. I am so glad she decided not to wear that gray suit because hindsight is 2020. And looking at her and his ex-wife Imogen, she would have looked like a carbon copy of that lady. So I'm glad she went for the fairy tale silhouette and slept with that man. So you guys, what now that the show is ending, what are we going to do? Are we going to pick up with something else? White Lotus, Beauty in the Black? I will follow you guys wherever. It's been nice to be able to chime in, but I love you too, and I'll follow you guys. What's happening?
Thank you, Marvelous. Yes, you guys are making me so woo.
I know.
Oh
we
my
might
gosh.
have to find something. I don't know what.
I don't know, but I'm actually sitting up here like new. I'm sitting up here like, Shar, suck it in. Don't embarrass yourself. I'm feeling just very sentimental, but thank you all for those beautiful messages. Denver and I, we both really, really appreciate it. And thank you for, I'll save my speech for the final episode.
Save it.
Let's launch into season 3, episode 11. Forget about the boy.
Let's do it.
So this episode opens up. Thanksgiving is coming up, which is actually a reality for us. Thanksgiving is coming up soon. And the episode opens with Carrie ordering pies at the local bakery, and it is giving a shady set. This scene was funny to me. I mean, it just was there to be there. What a random way to open up the season. Now, is the bakery owner, is she a callback to somebody that I'm just not remembering? Like, have we seen her before?
I think we have. I don't know. I mean, I know I've definitely seen her in like a bunch of stuff, but I think we've seen her.
Right. The actress. Right.
Yeah.
I loved that scene because for me, like, I'm someone that's lived in my neighborhood for nearly a decade. And it's like, when you like patronize your local businesses, especially small businesses or mom and pop, you get special treatment sometimes. You get an extra taco in your order and stuff like that, you know? So
I mean, I wish I could say the same. I think I've outlived all of the small businesses around here.
Yeah.
So like I'm the oldest bitch here.
I think you have to. Which, by the way, I forgot to tell you. I know you told me this, but you haven't told me where you're. We'll talk off air.
It's nothing's said. It's time. You know when you get the feeling like it's time. I have the feeling.
Yes, we will talk. I do know that feeling. What I will say is that I forgot to tell you 2 weeks ago, I ended up going to Kazunori like that Friday. I ended up going.
Oh, that sounds so good right now.
I had a great time. I did the 6 hand rolls and I got some sashimi on the side. I took Anthony out. It was his birthday weekend. And I was like, do you want to go for sushi?
My spot? Wow.
He's had it before, but I definitely was like, I remember when Denver Denver introduced me to this place. It was a different time in both of our lives. Oh my God. When I think
I got
about
my
that,
phone.
wasn't that like
trying to reach for it?
That was like 2018. We went to
It was
Kazunori for the first time.
pre-COVID, I think. Yeah.
It was like 2018. We were both in very different places in our life.
Oh yeah. That was like face number 2 for me.
I just remember some of our conversation there. We were very different people.
Yeah.
Still had a lot going on, but
all right, back to the show. Back to the show.
When Carrie oh my God. When Carrie leaves this bakery, she calls Miranda to catch up. I should mention, that it's mentioned later on in the episode, but they're planning for Thanksgiving, and it's Miranda's first time hosting Thanksgiving. And so Carrie's just letting her know that, I got them pies. And we see Carrie walking down her old street. And that's when she runs into Lisette, as Lisette is leaving. And Lisette and Carrie are catching up. And Lisette mentions, I haven't seen you in forever because of a boy. How many? Ooh, if I had a nickel every time, that was said, either from me or to me. That's kind of crazy.
Wow. We're going
They catch up. You said what?
I said, wow, we're going there.
Oh, yeah, we're going there. We're definitely going there. But they catch up. Lisette has been missing for 7 months, and that's her record. And Carrie is like, well, 22 years is my record. From this conversation, Lisette ends up inviting Carrie to a get-together, kind of like a Friendsgiving that she's hosting the Monday before Thanksgiving. Boom. Then we get Carrie kind of looking up at her apartment, and she looks like there's a longing there. She's looking up at her apartment. Mm-hmm.
A little bit. I think what I liked is when Lisette asked her to come to the party, she kind of gave like this non-answer. It was like a smile and like a. She didn't say yes, she didn't say no, and Lisette actually took it, which I thought was interesting. Like she was
our girl
was like, come on Monday.
Our girl is she did say that. She did kind of reiterate that. Carrie's going through a lot of conflicting emotions in this episode. We'll put it that way.
I don't know if I've said this before, but Lisette to me it looks like the older brunette sister of Sydney Sweeney, and she talks like her too. They have the same vocal timbre too.
Oh my God.
But
wait, when Sydney Sweeney's being for real, or when she's going like these great jeans determine hair color?
Both. I mean, they're kind of the same because she has that kind of.
She does look like Sydney Sweeney in a brown wig, a brown curly wig.
I don't know why that.
I didn't think about that,
but she does.
God, I'm so tired of hearing that name.
Oh my God. I'm on that. Different show. Perhaps the next show that we do. Maybe. Our next scene, we get Charlotte and Harry. They're setting the table, getting ready for dinner. And Harry mentions that he has not had an erection since the surgery. He's ready to get it on and crack it again because Charlotte and Harry's sex life is a core tenet of their relationship, of their marriage. And they just have not been getting it on. Yeah. Robust.
In this scene, though, we learned that Harry just isn't interested in doing Thanksgiving at Miranda's. He wants to eat Charlotte's stuffing at his house, not at Miranda's. Period. And, he's making jokes that Miranda probably listens to NPR during Thanksgiving dinner and all of this curmudgeon-y stuff. I thought that was funny. But then we hear Miranda's youngest child, Rock, calling out for their mother, and they need Charlotte's help to zip them up in their thoroughly modern Millie costume. Now,
here we go.
What did you make of this scene? Because I have thoughts, but I want to know what you made of this scene.
So first of all, Rock with the bob, here for it. Let's just get that out of the way. I love a bob. As far as like Charlotte's reaction, I was kind of confused. And I was confused. I don't know if I was confused because she was confused or if I was confused because I was trying to like kind of gauge her sentiment and I wasn't sure what I was reading. If that makes sense. Like I wasn't sure if Charlotte was confused or if I was confused because of her reaction. Like I was just, and then maybe just because, just I don't know. It was complicated and I don't quite know why. But I think later in the episode, it kind of clears itself up a little bit.
So we'll pick up this conversation when we get there. Yeah, because I was squinting and I was like, is this getting a little problematic?
Yeah.
But also acknowledging the complexities around being the parent of not just a I don't know if Rock identifies as non-binary, trans, or just non-binary, because there is a difference.
There is a difference
with language. But I'll just say an LGBTQ plus kid, right? Sometimes parents act a fool if you if you show up as Millie and you don't identify as Millie, which we'll get to. So our next scene, we're with Anthony and Giuseppe in the dressing room of Bergdorf Goodman, and Giuseppe's trying on sweaters when out of nowhere, he gets on one knee and proposes to Anthony. What do you think provoked this?
You know what? I think this is the one time where I think I would have just preferred if they were actually like doing something gross in the fitting room, because the proposal just came out of left field. I wasn't feeling it. Didn't move me. I don't care for it. Because
Anthony was like, "Are you about to blow me in the Bergdorf dressing room?"
I kind of wish that was the reality, honestly.
Well, it is for so many.
Like, what are we doing?
It is for so many.
Have you done it in the dressing room? I've never done it in the dressing room.
No, I've never done it. I've done it in
a lot of places, but not a dressing room.
I've never done. I have had someone send me media from a dressing room, but I've never done it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever taken that either in a dressing room. I don't know why. I just normally when I'm out shopping, I don't like dressing rooms anyway. But I'm just trying to like get in and get out.
Yeah, I don't mind a dressing room. Especially if I'm unsure about sizing, but nevertheless. So that happens. Our next scene.
We talking about clothes or
what? I'm saying that the proposal happened.
No, you said you were unsure about sizing. I said, are you talking about clothes or
But you got that one, Denver. Yes, I'm talking about clothes.
All right, I'm done.
So our next scene, we get Carrie. She's with her editor, and she's getting praise about her novel, but her editor kind of gags her and says, "This is great. I'm just waiting on the last chapter." And Carrie's like, "But that's the whole book." And the editor's like, "Oh, well." Carrie says, after her love dies, the woman is alone, and her editor lets her know that what she has written is a romantic tragedy. Like, it's not about happy endings. It's about what people want to read, and people want to end. I know even myself, when I read books, I like to end. Not everything has to be on a high note, but it's got to make sense. I don't know if
it has to be satisfying.
It's satisfying.
Yeah, that's a satisfying payoff.
It's got to have a satisfying payoff, especially if I'm peeling through hundreds of pages. Yes, absolutely.
Wasting my time.
Absolutely correct. I recently, within recent years, I want to say as of within like the past 5 years, have stopped books dead in their tracks. Prior to, like, what I mean is, like, if I'm reading something and it's not clicking, I'm 5-6 chapters in, I used to be like, I gotta see it through. And now I'm like, oh no, this book is on my bookshelf.
That's called age.
This book, like, I've done it with books from different genres, from fiction to, I've never had to put a biography down though, but I've had to put down a book that a lot of people like. It just wasn't for me.
What?
And I can't wait to see the film. They're adapting it into a film. Okay. And then I had to do it for.
Wait, girl, what is it? You have to say what it is now. I want to know.
It's because I know some of her family, and I really like this author. But I did not like. Okay, it's Children of Blood and Bone.
Art is meant to be critiqued.
Children of Blood and Bone is a book that's not for me. I thought that it would be different from what it was. And the only reason why it's not for me is each chapter has a different perspective and it throws me off. It just was hard to follow. It would be like if you and I had dinner and the first chapter is my account of the dinner and the second chapter is your account for it got a little too weavy for me. And I got through a lot of it, but a lot of people love it. And like the cast looks amazing. And I will be going to go see the film because maybe the film will be so good.
I think it might be better suited visually if it's going to switch perspectives like that.
I love the setting. I love, I love how Tommy writes. That book just wasn't for me. And then the other one was
wait, Soul. Not to stop you, but wasn't there some controversy with that casting? I think I saw some with somebody not being X enough or
it does take place in West Africa, I believe. So I don't know.
I think there's a headline or two, a spicy one out there about.
I'll have to look into it. I think
Tommy had to come to the defense of "Oh Girl" because she was like, I wrote the book and I think it's fine. Like,
who is it? Amandla? She's in the book. I mean in the movie. Who is it?
Not that one, but it's one of those type of situations. So
no, I don't recall this. But the second one is The Seat of the Soul by Gary Zukav. I just thought like the title, I was like, I'm going to get into this. What's his face? Oprah and Maya Angelou both wrote the foreword. I was like, oh, I had my highlighter and I
Mhm.
really sat down, and that book just, even the audio book, I tried the audio. I can't. Gary Zukov speaks very slowly and very softly, and there's a thick accent. It's just
Now wait a
hard to
minute,
follow.
glasses. Slow and
What?
soft? Wow, drag me, Monique.
Denver, you'd be a great candidate for an audiobook.
People tell me that all the time.
People
But
tell me that. Well, I'm not
well, I mean, yeah,
soft
I mean,
spoken.
no, but your voice
And
sounds so
I've
nice.
done it. I've had men ask me to read them bedtime stories.
And you
Once
should.
I channel Mary Alice.
Oh.
And so, Desperate. If you know Desperate Housewives, then you know.
Have
But
you seen Twitch? Like the people doing the ASMR on Twitch where they sit there in their chairs, like
no.
in their bras, and they just touch the thing, and then people send the money. Guys do it too, and they do it on TikTok.
Now hold on, because the
Anyway,
income
I was
looking a
thinking
little
if the
weird.
I listen, I was thinking if the bills get a little tight, I might just take my shirt off and just So
I
for
don't know.
some
I'm
guys
gonna
to
be
like
sitting up
put
there
it
in
in
my
a thing,
bra, but maybe I'll do the top headlines and whisper.
you could.
Breaking news: the Supreme Court just rolled back the Voting Rights Act of 1965.
You know what? That actually might hit. You might actually just tap
No,
into an
no.
entire stream of income. I mean, I'm dead ass serious. Men are pervs.
Yeah, that
So
is true. Well, as I mentioned, Carrie has written a romantic tragedy, but Carrie challenges that, and her editor puts she pushes back. Her editor does make sense, because if you look
oh
at
my
this
God.
from the lens of 1846, women didn't have equity. Women did not have what they have access to today. You literally had to be tied to a man in order to make any
Mhm.
moves in life. So,
And I
our next,
thought when she was saying it, I thought she was just kind of being shady, but that was actually a really fair point.
yeah, no, it really
It was, it
was.
was yeah.
It really was, especially 18. Are you kidding me? The Civil War hadn't even happened yet in 1846. I don't believe it wasn't over. It hadn't even kicked off.
Right.
Well, our next scene, we get Miranda and Charlotte. They are having cocktails with Carrie at her place, and this is when Charlotte invites the girls to Rock's play. And she gets really transparent with them about seeing Rock in the Millie costume. She's kind of stuck on this, I've noted.
Mm-hmm.
So now we can unpack, because before we further this conversation, what do you think Charlotte was experiencing and the big deal around Rock in this costume?
I think that it was joy. And I think only because I would imagine as a parent, especially as a mom, when you have a daughter, you kind of have this vision of them growing up
We always
and
talk
kind of
about this.
doing the things you want them to do and how they're
Yes.
going to look. And you kind of
Yep.
like imagine their lives for them. Yeah, she's going to go to prom and she's going to do this, and the reality is, she's and they're not going to do those things that you always dreamed of them doing. So this was almost like a little glimpse into what could have
Into the
been.
what if.
And I think it was a combo of joy and I think what we saw earlier was joy, but then also maybe like a little mourning for the daughter that she thought that she was going to be raising.
And I want to note, to your point, this isn't exclusive to daughters. It's with sons
Oh,
too.
no.
It's one of those things when a lot of people, most parents, when they find out the gender of their baby, they subconsciously have that child's entire life planned out for them, including what they're going to look like, how they're going to behave. And I think that's part of becoming a parent. Like, I'm not a parent. You're not a parent, but I think a core tenet of good parents that I've heard, like I always reference Teak Milan, who says that his father said, my job is to show you how to be, not who to be, meaning making you a principled human being, not who to, I'm not going to twist your arm into making you who I want you to be. I'm just giving you the keys to the kingdom, so to speak, as long as you're a decent human being. And I think that that's actually what damages the relationships between a lot of parents and their children, is people get hung up on their projections. And so, to your point, it was kind of like a everything everywhere all at once moment, where in another universe, this is Rock, like this would have been. So yeah,
it made me think of my mom, because I part of me feels like, you wonder, being gay and stuff, like, is there a part of her that wonders, like, what if I was had the wife and I was doing the kids and I stayed in Georgia and I did the whole traditional thing, and and I think, like, as a child, I mean, you almost don't really feel like guilty because I mean, there's really nothing that could be done about it.
No. Yeah.
But it's like
No.
you, or at least for me, I don't want to speak for anybody else, but like almost sometimes like I wonder if, not I wonder if, but what am I trying to say? I don't know. I mean, she's cool with whatever's going on, you know?
Yeah.
But sometimes
But
I feel like,
it's
damn, she probably, you know, there's a chance she probably did want to be like a grandma and have all these things, and she just didn't
yeah.
get that with me, you know? Oh, well.
But she still could. Like, you can still have
I
children.
mean, yeah, but
mother
it's just not in the way that I'm sure she
in the
probably
yes.
imagined. Yeah.
And it also makes me think of, like, you know, if and this is in relation to Rock and Charlotte, right? Let's say Rock was not non-binary. It makes me think of like those TikTok skits of like when the daughter leans mask or is a stud, and then, you know, they get a glimpse, the parent gets a glimpse, like they wear that dress to prom or to a funeral or something, and you get that glimpse, you know, type thing. And I should mention, some people are a bit more flexible in their presentation than others. So some parents do get those moments. Other people, no.
Not so much.
So yeah, I wanted to explore that, and I wonder, I would ask Michael Patrick King why he felt it necessary to include that. And I only say that with the current climate and conversations happening around non-binary people and people, it just felt displaced to me. And again, like they don't know what with Charlotte.
Right. I mean, and especially considering like that was such a big part, I think, of season 1. And we kind of moved past it already.
We have.
So to revisit it just for
a glimpse, because we're going to see later in the episode that Charlotte herself moved past it as well. Right. So also in this scene, Miranda reveals that she will not be at Rock's play because she's going with Joy to a lecture about the role of media in disaster management. And Carrie's like, sounds so fun. Miranda also reveals that she invited Brady's baby mama Mia to Thanksgiving, which I thought was a fun play on words, you know, Mama Mia.
Oh yeah.
Here we go again.
I know. It's always funny to hear white women use the word baby mama because it's almost like a joke.
Well, you heard what Nash said. Nash, I was like that one friend that might be too woke, but I get it. I get it. It's very coded. Like,
it is very coded.
Come on now, Miranda. And I don't imagine Miranda's character using the term baby mama. I just don't.
I mean, I think I do, because it's one of those things where it's like you're kind of in disbelief. So like you joke about it because it's not like real. You know what I mean? Like, to the point, like baby mama, it's not really like the most humanizing term. So, you know, baby's child's mother, that kind of grounds her in reality a little bit. This is still like the baby mama, baby's not here. This ain't even real. You know what I mean? It's that kind of.
We still don't know if it's Brady's baby on top of that.
That part.
So like we're doing all this conversation. But also in this conversation, Charlotte compliments, and this is when I really got a good look at what you mentioned last week about how Carrie's place is so furnished, because Charlotte mentions how warm and cozy it is now that it is fully furnished. And also in this conversation, Carrie fills the girls in on her editor's feedback and how she's tasked with writing an epilogue, but she does not want to. She feels like her ending is honest. And then she does those ominous questions. What would the new ending be? What is there to say? I should mention that Miranda says something earlier when Carrie's walking down the sidewalk from the bakery, something about endings. I can't remember what she said though, but it was one of those moments where I was like, oh, profound. Subtle profundity, profound. And then also, go ahead.
To cut you off, but it's interesting to see Carrie take this criticism so personally when her entire career.
We know why.
I'm saying, but her entire career, she's written memoirs that were actually personal.
True.
So this to be like your first fiction book for you to be so, you know, butthurt about this feedback it's interesting.
Because the truth is, this is also a memoir. The issue is that this is also a memoir.
Clock it.
It's just got a different little lens on it. But then it gets interrupted because Charlotte does her infamous scream, the Charlotte scream. And that's when she tells the ladies that Anthony and Giuseppe are engaged.
And I think this is where we are going to
take a little break.
All right. And we are back picking up with one of my favorite parts. We have Seema and Adam in the shower.
In the shower. And it's sexy time. Oral, to be specific. Well, it's oral sexy time, to be specific. Seema mentioned she ain't going down there. Yeah, she ain't going down there.
Yeah, no, I hate shower sex. It's so bad. But
It is definitely something that it was romanticized. It's definitely better in theory and in fantasy than it is in reality.
I hate it.
I will co-sign that.
There's a point where Seema said, what she said? She said, I'm not getting down on my knees and rushing water. And I was like, girl, I feel you. Like there's nothing fun about being wet, slipping everywhere. Like the quarters are tight.
I don't even like showering with other people.
Oh, me neither. I mean, I will.
So sex to be damned, I prefer to shower alone.
Yeah.
It's something therapeutic about it. And you're interrupting my energy. Gross. Yeah, you're interrupting my energy. It's something I just like to be with the water, listen to the pitter pat, and do what I got to do in there.
Yeah, are you a music in the shower person?
Huh?
Are you a music in the shower person?
Sometimes. Not. You know what? I used to be, and that it was occasionally, not really. I used to also listen to podcasts. I used to joke with people and be like, "Oh my gosh, I take you in the shower with me every Thursday." Like I listen to podcasts, but a lot of the times, as I've gotten older, I like to shower in silence and just be in there. It decompresses for me. Like I feel so much better after I've showered. So much better. I'm talking about mentally. So much better after I've showered because I'm just in there, just kind of. It's decompressing. It's and sometimes my favorite thing is when I get out of the shower. Yeah, my favorite thing is when I get out of the shower and I have ideas. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to go write that down like right now before I forget it. And so, it depends on if I listen to music. I don't have to. I listen to music if I'm getting ready to go out. How about that?
Yeah,
if I'm getting in the shower.
If it's on before I get in, I won't turn it off, but I'm not putting music on to get in the shower.
Yeah, because nothing's worse than a song coming on that you want to skip.
I'm trying to yell for Siri, and I'm trying to yell for Siri. I'm already quiet, and then I got to yell over the water. It's a whole thing.
Ooh, I know that's very stressful for you. Well, now we're in the shower, and Adam also, once the shower ends, he invites Seema to Thanksgiving to meet his sister. Fun. And then the most romantic scene of the entire episode. He tells Seema that he's thankful for her because he celebrates Thanksgiving on his own time. He's not on his own time. He's not a fan of the holiday, but he's thankful for her. And then he says those 3 words, "I love you." And I thought our girl was going to freeze up, but instead she said, "I love you," back to him.
Now, I was fully prepared for Seema to just turn around and walk out. Like my mind was set. And then she said it back. And I was like, there's no way the show's about to fucking end. Like, I got so mad.
Our girl deserves this.
So mad.
Deserves this. I love, I'm glad Seema's getting a happy ending. I'm glad she deserves this. So our next scene, we are at Rock's high school for the performance, and Carrie enters the school and she spots Anthony and congratulates him on his recent engagement. But then Anthony reveals he's having second thoughts. Carrie can certainly relate. And Anthony mentions that ever since he and Giuseppe moved in together, he's been basically slaving away, like picking up after him, cooking, cleaning. And he said, I don't know if he wants me to marry him or mommy him. And I said, well,
interesting.
Again, if I had a nickel for every time I heard.
Wow. Well, that makes me wonder if his old roommate was doing that for him because he was obsessed with him. Was he doing the cooking and the cleaning?
Maybe so.
Don't know.
But Anthony's not that tight. Anthony's running the Hot Fellas Bakery, which was also, that's why I'm like, this show, they did not plan to end this. We had too much emphasis on that damn bakery. For what?
Yeah. Maybe it'll come into play in the finale. Maybe that's where they'll get married. Maybe they'll have a Hot Fellas wedding.
Denver, please.
What?
Please.
I mean, it's Anthony. So
Anthony gonna have a Liza Minnelli wedding for his first marriage, and then a Hot Fellas Bakery wedding for his second.
Yes.
Well, from there, we get Charlotte. She rolls up with Mark Kasabian, aka Mr. Andrews, because his daughter is working on the play. And now we're inside the theater getting ready for the play, and Herbert is sulking. He's still obviously upset about his loss in the election last week. And they're there because, Henry is the male lead, as we saw when they were rehearsing with the tap dancing last week. And, Herbert's like, at least someone in our family's winning. And, he's out in public for one of his first times probably being like back out in the public, and everyone is approaching him and commenting on the election results, including Principal Peterson. Like everyone's stopping by. I love the woman that was like, "Oh, and don't worry about all that money we donated to your campaign."
I was like, do you want it back? Like, why would you say that?
She does. She does.
That was a microaggression.
And so, for sure. What I thought was funny in this scene, though, is that Principal Peterson spots Giuseppe, and he's like, "God damn, who is that?" Okay. And Anthony's like, "Who's that queen? What's that queen on?" And so, then we get into Rock's performance, which I thought, I'm going to keep hearkening back to this. We got a lot of music performances this season. I don't know if that's a reflection of the writing being kind of like, we don't know what to do to fill this up, but we got a lot of music this season. And we did not need Rock's perform. We did not need this. This did not carry the episode. Like I thought back to how we did not need, nor did we see Herbert's election night, right? That was just fine. Elevator door closed, elevator door open. Why do we need this scene from Rock? Especially if they're not going to show Henry, right? Especially if they're not going to show our diva Henry.
You know what I'm about to say. We didn't need Chidi as a 7-minute Netflix special either.
Well, I agreed with that. I think I agree with that in real time.
I would much rather take this than that. But I think this just kind of played into, Charlotte seeing her baby on stage. But it could have been 15 seconds.
It could have. I mean, Rock's very talented. But I was like, y'all, this is the what is it called? The penultimate episode.
Right. And we needed Henry's solo. We needed Henry. If we were going to do it, we did need Henry.
I'm like, where's the diva?
I'm so sorry. Like,
where's the diva?
Where are the notes?
Well, also while Rock is performing, Charlotte asks Carrie to take a photo, which is important because that's going to come up later. The next morning, it is 7:30 a.m. and Herbert is working from home. LTW tries to encourage him, and he is in a big time rut, hung up on his failure. And LTW says, her last ditch effort is, I have never been prouder to be your wife. Herbert says, not helping, go to work, please. Now, I actually, as someone who cannot stand Herbert, and I don't see it turning around or improving anytime soon, in this scene, I actually really felt for him. I really, really felt for him. I thought that the way in which he engaged LTW was so rude. It sometimes happens in relationships, though, but I thought that what we were witnessing was a reflection of Mother Wexley, because she's terrible, right? So if you imagine growing up, how she treated him when he lost, imagine growing up in a household with that pressure, right? And I can relate to that because my mom is nothing like Mother Wexley, nor is my father, but I grew up with a lot of pressure. Like, I'm an earth sign, I'm the eldest. There is this pressure to, I remember the emphasis on me being responsible as a fourth grader, right? I was a latchkey kid. I had a cell phone, I had the house key. So there was this emphasis on being responsible, and I had a good childhood. So it's not like I was robbed of my childhood, but I remember those feelings of when I would just mess up because I'm 10 years old and I lost my house key. And now, I feel the weight of the world, right? Not even that my parents are necessarily putting the weight of the world on me, but better. Like, these are things that followed me into adulthood that I still have to
a lot of expectation.
Yeah, because better. That's all I hear.
To perform and to prevail and to succeed.
There are times where I make mistakes. I've since kind of shed that because now I'm all with a note back to the episode, right? With LTW and Herbert. I'm human, right? That's my thing now. Like, I'm human. I am a deeply flawed human being, just like everyone else. Who am I to think that I've made mistakes and I will continue to make mistakes as long as, this heart is beating and there's air in these lungs. I'm going to be making mistakes. That's part of life. You can't escape them. They're unavoidable. But it took me so long to get there because every time I would make a mistake, it always went back to you. You know better. You knew better. You knew better. What are you doing?
Right. So, I'm the same. I'm the same. I think I've evolved. I think I've evolved to apathy for a lot of things. I think I had to care so much as a child. As I've gotten older, I care about so much less.
Oh, it just hit 12:01 a.m. here in Cleveland. That's so funny because it's 9 there, right?
It's 9. It's 9.
That's crazy.
And I was
And it doesn't
concerned
feel,
when we were going to do
fairness,
this. I was concerned because I was like, is she going to be tired? Like, do we need to move it? But there's only so
no.
many hours we can move it up because the show doesn't come on until,
Yeah. And I'm doing just fine. And
Okay, good.
I'm gonna, in fairness, I'm gonna see if the bar is open. I think it's closed, but there's a bar
Oh,
on the
that's right.
rooftop. I want to listen. I'm at a convention, okay? I would
Okay.
like a little nightcap, but
I just took this calm supplement, and I'm like, I'm chilling.
Or maybe I'll just go to bed. It's time to wash all
No,
this off.
you are in Cleveland. You are in a hotel room. You
Yeah,
need to
it's
go out.
Cleveland.
I mean, the party's wherever you are.
Correct.
Yeah. So I think you should do it. And
Well,
there's nothing
yeah.
like a hotel bar. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
I used to go to hotel bars in
hotel
LA,
bars.
random. Like if I didn't want to like go out.
I tell all my single girls, go to a hotel bar.
Yeah.
Trust me. Just
always get good conversation. As a yapper, I always had the time of my life. But yeah, I just wanted to emphasize that because I know that people watching the episode probably predicted that I was rolling my eyes and judging Herbert in that scene, but I actually really empathized with him because imagine being raised by Mother Wexley.
Yeah.
So then in our next scene, it's Charlotte and Harry. They're in bed and, she feels something hard in her back. It turns out to be his iPad. Damn. But she tells him that they are indeed going to Miranda's. It just is what it is, right? Because, when they were having cocktails, when the girls were having cocktails, Miranda turned to Charlotte and was like, "You're making your stuffing, right?" And Charlotte's like,
"Yeah, girl, of course. Why ever would I not be?"
Then Harry reveals that when he initially got his diagnosis, he just wanted to make it to Thanksgiving, which I thought was a vulnerable moment. I didn't look at this as manipulative. I looked at this as a vulnerable moment where Harry's like, because, he waved off his diagnosis. It's no big deal. I'll be fine. But I think this is very vulnerable when you get a diagnosis like that, your mind goes to 1,000,001 different directions. So I appreciated that. Also in this scene, we get Charlotte examining this photo of Rock that Carrie took and sent her, but we also see Charlotte delete the photo.
Good for her. I think it's one thing to wonder what if. I think it's one thing to wonder what if, but you have to not cross into what should have been. So I think this is a nice
well, what should have been is what is.
Ooh.
Everything happens as it should. What should have been is what is. Yeah. Yeah. And I love that she took, mental account for it. She doesn't need to keep the photo. Also, imagine knowing Charlotte and how clumsy she is. Imagine if Rock had seen that photo in the iPad or so. You know what I'm saying? Like that would have been.
And I do love that she kind of dealt with this privately.
Yeah. Yeah,
like
yeah,
she didn't run
and
to
didn't
the girls,
rope Harry into it, and we
right.
also didn't get any Lily this episode. Interesting.
No, and so bringing back to the first time Rock came out in their dress and Charlotte's reaction, my initial thought was, well, why is Charlotte having this when she has a child who presents feminine? You know what I mean? What's the big deal? I was like, you have Lily, like it's not
right. It's not like she has a son and then Rock, or like where she's yeah.
But then I was like, well, I guess again, as a mother, you see the child who looks like you, and you expect them to kind of grow up and look like you, and you see that reflection. So that's probably why it hit her harder.
And listen, Rock gonna look like her regardless. They gonna look like Charlotte regardless, whether they got a bob wig on and heavy makeup or they walking around there in their oversized hoodie and a messy, whatever.
Done.
Yeah. Well, Rock has a bob year round, right? It's just that sometimes it's
it was curled.
Right. Rock normal bob is giving very bedhead, rolled out of bed and threw on the giant hoodie and here we go.
Supercuts, just snip the bottom.
Or as Naomi Campbell says, rock and roll. If you know that's an inside joke. So then our next scene, we see Joy and Miranda. They're having some dinner, and that's when Brady comes in and shows a text from Mia. Brady is upset, and Mia confirmed that she is coming to Thanksgiving. And like I know,
rightfully so.
Brady is pissed, rightfully so. Miranda, this is what irritates people a lot about Miranda. I sing her praises and I defend Miranda, but Miranda she's a perpetual line stepper. She acts first and then thinks later. And this was a scene that even irritated me because Miranda, what are you doing? What are we doing here? You know? And so, yeah, he's pissed. And Miranda did not think that Mia would say yes, but we also learned that in this scene that Miranda ended up going back to the salon to apologize to Mia for the first visit. And while there, she casually extended this invitation to Thanksgiving after learning that Mia has basically been shunned by her family. Like, mother blocked her on Facebook and stuff, and et cetera, et cetera.
And meanwhile, Brady knows none of this.
Important to note that. It is important to note that.
Like Brady is completely clueless as to the first visit, the second visit, Mia's life story.
None of it, because they hooked up maybe once or twice. He doesn't even know Mia's last name. So Brady wants Miranda to revoke this invitation, but Miranda refuses. She's 10 toes down in this. And we notice in this scene that Brady ropes Joy into it, asking Joy, is she or is she not being effing ridiculous? Also, Socrates and Sappho are there and they're getting scared.
I hate that. Like, don't bring nobody else into this. Like, don't put my girl
that was petty.
in a position to speak
that was
against
petty.
Me.
That
like,
was
I
petty.
understand you're mad. But then also, I mean, when Miranda was kind of popping off, talking about this baby's happening, whether or not you like it, so we need to make the most of it, I kind of saw where she was coming from a little bit. Like, you know, it is an entire child, and this is going to be...
There's a responsibility there, Brady.
Like,
if you're going to lay it low and spread it wide, you got to deal with some of the consequences.
Right. It's not just have a baby and go. So, I mean, I understood a little bit of where she was coming from. She just went about it all wrong.
Yeah. And Miranda ain't going to have, or Steve, neither one of them are going to have a deadbeat for a son. That's just not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. And so we see Brady get upset. And like I said, he goes into the bedroom and slams the door. And the second time we've seen Miranda lose her appetite at the dinner table.
Damn, you're right.
The same.
You're right. You're right. No, there was something. What'd you say?
I said over some delicious food. The second time, two meals have been ruined.
Right. No, but there's something Brady said talking about you can't invite like some random girl I got pregnant to Thanksgiving dinner. Something about that phrasing stuck out to me. I was like, damn, not some random girl I got pregnant to Thanksgiving dinner. That's who she is.
I just thought, to Remarvelous's point earlier in our episode, Brady received the discipline that he needed. What was that, season 1, when he was knocking down his girlfriend all up and through Miranda and Steve's house? Remember, we talked about this ad nauseum when we were on Twitter Spaces.
So disrespectful.
It was so disrespectful.
Like, little girl.
The girl in there hollering, the headboard knocking. I would have even felt, oh, no, I'm going to shut up.
Couldn't.
Our next scene, we get Carrie and Seema. This is the second episode we get with them having drinks at the bar. Like they're having drinks.
I live for
and they're
it.
talking about Thanksgiving plans. And Seema mentions that she won't be there because, you know, she's going to be with Adam's vegan, gluten-free family, which I'm like, ooh, girl, you're making one hell of a concession. Tofu and tofurkey over a juicy drumstick. And Carrie asked her flat out, are you determined to make this lovely invite somehow a bad thing? Which I was like, Seema, check yourself. Because again, that script, Seema's so used to being disappointed that she's anticipating disappointment. She is looking for the mirror moment when she can look at herself and say, I told you so. But it doesn't seem like it's going to be happening anytime soon. Because Adam is invested and he likes that girl.
And it seems like she's doing some work on her own too.
But yeah, she is, for sure.
She's self-regulating a little bit.
Especially when she has friends like Carrie calling it out. Girl, are you determined to make this lovely thing a bad thing? Because that's what it's sounding like. But then Seema reveals that she got a call from the people who own the apartment under Carrie, and they want to know if she's interested in buying it because the lease is up. We learned that Duncan did not renew, and they want to check with Carrie before they put it on the market for resale because it would be more desirable to own the entire property. What did you think about this? What did you think about the news that Duncan did not renew? I thought that was interesting.
Good.
But also I was like, yeah,
good.
Sometimes
I love it for Carrie's story. Like I'm
too.
happy that
too.
You know, she gets to experience this part of her
fun
and freedom, whatever she was having with Duncan, you know.
And she
and
may never
it
see Duncan again, and that's not a
right,
bad thing.
and it prevents
It
her from
served its
doing what she
purpose.
normally does. Right. Yeah. So I
Mhm.
wasn't mad. I was.
I
I
kinda
don't know if you
gagged at
mentioned
it,
it.
though, I'm not gonna even front.
Really?
It did, it was something, I don't know, it's sobering. Like, Carrie even
It
gagged. "Oh,
was.
Duncan didn't
She
renew?
did,
Wow."
and she had a moment. She was like, "How do I feel about this?" And
Yeah.
she was disappointed.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, Carrie, as we were just mentioning, in this scene, she experiences a lot of upsetting emotions.
Mhm.
She doesn't know if it's because she was harboring the idea that Duncan would come back or if it's because Seema is saying that she should resell. Carrie's place is too big. She openly admits that it's too big for one person, but she bought it with a plan, and that plan is no longer happening, right?
Mm.
Also, she's afraid to go to Lisette's place because she thinks it might make her sad to be back in her old place.
And that's
She asks
honest.
Seema, like, what if I miss it? And Seema's rattling off all of the things wrong with it. And Carrie's like, yeah, none of that matters. The wood popping
Well,
up, paint chipping.
let me tell you a story. I went back to my old loft maybe like 3 weeks ago. The one where I had my
Really?
Christmas parties at? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because
What the
we've
hell
been
were you
looking at.
doing back there?
Well, let me tell you. Well, wait, this is a two-part story. It gets even better. It gets even better. So, we was just been looking at stuff around just to, freshen up the place. And that building, they are like really good loft units, right?
Yeah.
So I was just looking at the website and I saw that my old unit was available. And I was like, huh, this is available. And there's some other ones in the building that I wanted to see. So we were like, let's just go. So went back and like my old manager's there, my old doorman's there, my old everybody's still there. So it was like a really
Wow.
nice family reunion. We all
Wow.
hugged and it was a really good time.
Yeah.
So we get up to my old unit. I was in that unit for years. And open the door and it looks almost the exact same. Like
Oh
they
my
added a
God.
like they added a wall where because when I was there, I added like my own divider for that downstairs part to kind of
Yeah,
split it in
yeah,
half
yeah.
because it was so big.
Mm-hmm.
But they added like a more permanent door off of my suggestion, obviously. And the stairs were the same, the kitchen was the same, the terrace was the same, like everything was the
Wow.
exact same. And it was like this really weird rush of like, huh, I loved this place. But I realized I had no desire to be back there.
Right.
Even though it was available, there was a great price point. Like I could have just
Mm-hmm.
settled right back in because it's essentially everything that we're kind of looking for now. It's just, I lived there before. You know what I mean? So
And I imagine it's one of those things where it can make you sad because it reminds you there's memories trapped in those walls. And
mhm,
there's a lot of growing that happens when you have a place.
mhm,
There's a lot of celebrations, there's a lot of tears, there's a lot of disappointments.
mhm,
Like I imagine all of that meeting you at the front
mhm.
door or as you're even like touring the place, right? You just
Yeah, to a
remember there's
degree.
certain things. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very nostalgic. It was like, oh, like this is like a nice, weirdly empty museum of a small part of my life, right?
Yeah.
So we looked at some other units and left. It just wasn't going to work out. But this gets even better because I kid you not, 2 nights ago, Jonte sends me a TikTok, and it's some guy living in that same unit talking about like,
Wow.
look at my views downtown. I live in inside and outside. You know how that wall opens up,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
literally my old. I mean, this was 2 days ago. I kid you not, and it
So
was
it's off
literally
the
my old
market
unit.
now.
So somebody moved in, but I
Yeah.
was like, oh, good for him. I
Yeah.
can't. I would never want to go back there. But
He's there
it,
solo. I can imagine all that space solo, but I'd take it if offered
well, he
to
had
me.
it.
That
Well,
was a
he had
very
it.
nice thought.
I'm like, I hope he just moved in because you're gonna need. I'm like redecorating his place in my mind. I'm like, no, this needs to go over here. You need to do that. And
Of
so
course
it
you
was.
are.
So it was interesting having that. Well, I am who I am. It was interesting having that thought process and then watching this episode, which we'll get into, and I think
Which,
right now,
yes,
actually.
I was about to say we're about to round it
Yeah,
out.
yeah. Okay, we'll get into it.
I should mention in this scene with Seema and Carrie, Seema assures Carrie that that's not what she's implying. Like whatever Carrie's projections are is not what she's implying. She was just asking a business question. Carrie respects that and they leave it there. So then our next scene, we get Carrie walking up the steps to her old place and it's quite magical, right? We're getting close-ups of the steps in her shoes.
Mm-hmm.
She's walking up to her old place and the door is propped open. She opens the door and to her, and she's greeted with one hell of a surprise. A black man named Ezekiel. You can
And a
tell that
wall,
the wall is like drywall, like it's being painted.
like a little temp wall.
And her apartment has been divided into 2. And I have in my notes, this is a clear recession indicator. Lisette, what are you doing with the apartment? Carrie's apartment was not that big to be divided into 2.
But first, hey, Ezekiel.
Yeah, hey, Ezekiel.
Sorry, keep going.
Carrie does not recognize the place at all. It is not the apartment that she left. Even she says, I feel like I'm in Alice in Wonderland. Like she's exploring. Lisette mentions that, oh, Ezekiel got the kitchen. I got the closet. But I'm thinking to myself, Carrie only got 1 bathroom.
Right.
But it's that hallway. Did Lisette have it? Yeah, it's that hallway. Like, I guess they both meet and the bathroom's small and it's old. But I'm just like, Carrie's apartment was not designed to be a 2-person apartment. And I thought, I don't want to get too cerebral.
Is that even up to code?
I don't want. But yeah, I just thought about it because I just answered my own question because I was about to say Lisette's apartment that she was originally in looked bigger than Carrie's on the first floor, but the gay guys came back and they booted her out.
Right.
Because I was like, Lisette, you could have just moved him into there. Her apartment on that apartment on the first floor was bigger than Carrie's, but I forgot that the gays had moved back and told her she had to go, and then that's when Carrie was like, "You can have my place."
So seeing Carrie look around like, "Girl, what is this? Like, what?
It's ugly.
What did you do?" That's how I felt looking at the guy's TikTok. I was like, "This is ugly."
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Carrie's apartment is ugly. I didn't like it. I also don't like people that don't speak. I don't know if that's just like when Carrie opened Ezekiel's door and like he got company and didn't nobody say nothing. I mean, granted, Carrie could have spoken as well, but didn't nobody say nothing. I was like, I don't know. I always speak, especially when I'm in close quarters. I don't know who's who.
See, I could be better with that.
I always say, "Hey, how you doing?" I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I thought this was ugly. I felt disappointed for Carrie, but also I felt good for her because
me too. She realized, you know what, I'm a little too grown for this. Like,
you can't walk it back. You can't walk it back. And so, but Lisette mentions that it's not about the rent. She just hates living alone, which that I cannot relate to. That I cannot relate to, sister.
Really? I mean, I know a few people like that.
That I cannot. I'm not about to. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment now, and I'm not about to bust that bitch down the middle to bring someone else in because I quote unquote hate living alone. I actually prefer it. I know that my meals are still going to be in the refrigerator. My juice is going to be untouched. I know everything is going to be right where I left it with no riffraff. I don't have to keep up with weird work schedules or nothing used to piss me off more when I had roommates than coming home and it's a living room with company. It's like, I don't want to, and granted, it didn't happen all the time, but sometimes
you just don't feel like dealing.
Yeah.
The
and I don't
are not aligning.
Do I prefer, I think at this age, I think the last time I had roommates, I was 27, I believe. That's the last time I ever had roommates. And I've been alone ever since.
Yeah. I had them in college that I didn't know off campus. And then I had...
It's such a man thing. What do you mean you didn't know?
Yeah. Well, in college you can like get apartments. Like, well, here's the thing. So like in my friend group, I was one of 2 guys and a bunch of girls. So the girls all got 4 bedrooms, and
of course
the 2 guys got a place. And then I was kind of like SOL, and I still wanted to live near all my friends, so I had to take a 4-bedroom next door with 3 other people.
You didn't get to know them?
No.
Or there was just no interest, or were you all just like passing ships in the night? Like
we were just we were just like,
you just handle your responsibilities and keep the kitchen clean, the common areas clean.
And I was never there, so
got you.
Didn't really. And they were 3 lacrosse players
that 1 year,
and so they all knew each other.
Yeah. I was like that 1 year in undergrad. I was never home.
I was never there, and they all knew each other. And they
somebody else's home.
Tall white guys, and I was a little skinny gay kid, and it just wasn't gonna happen. Yeah. And my bedroom was right off the front door, so I would just come in and go in and
yeah.
I had everything in there.
Me too. Yeah, I had everything in there. I got tired of one of my roommates was using my soap and stuff. This was college stuff. And we was turning water into wine, squeezing $1 out of a nickel. But don't squeeze this ain't communal body wash. I had everything.
Each bedroom had a bathroom. So I had my own bathroom in there too. So I had no reason to leave.
We were in 4 bedrooms with 2 bathrooms.
Oh no, it was 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom. And the rooms were tiny, like they were tight, but they were enough. Like I had
loved my own
mini fridge with a toaster oven on top of it. Had my TV, my Apple TV. Like I was straight.
Well, when I moved, I ended up moving to a different housing complex. And then I had my own vanity and my own toilet and my own shower, but they were all three separate. So like the vanity was out in the open. There was a separate door just with the toilet and then a separate door just with the shower. Like it wasn't all like I was in a towel and a robe constantly. You can walk from one to the other type thing. So, well, to wrap this up, Lisette ends up
lived with men.
Yeah, men are nasty.
Sorry. Keep going.
Well, Lisette ends up asking Carrie if she's afraid living in that big house all alone. And Carrie's like, no, I have my alarm systems. I'm good. And Lisette's like, well, I got Ezekiel's guns. Ezekiel got a few guns and that's that. And then we get Carrie returning to the Gramercy house and she looks a little sad. She looks a little sad. She goes in, she turns off the alarm. I noticed that the alarm is now just 4 digits. It's not Carrie loves Aidan or whatever the hell it is. Yeah, she typed in like 4 digits and she goes upstairs and begins writing her epilogue. And I was a little lost with this because, we've been following this third person novel. This part I didn't get. So if any of you all have an interpretation from Carrie's epilogue, let us know. Speakpipe.com/we're just like that. And
yeah, I mean, I think the only thing I got is that she realizes, damn, this is a sad ending. She needs
but like I said, it's been weaving. And so it's like so-and-so's cousin James is coming to visit. And I'm like, is she just pulling stuff? But everything has a meaning though.
Well, so I think as a viewer, I think now we know like the jig is up, right? We know that the memoir was her. So now it's like, this just.
You think she's just doing whatever just to appease her editor?
Well, I think she realized that as much as it is a story, it is a memoir. So while she thought the ending was fine and that it wasn't sad, I think she's feeling sad. And so she's like, damn, this is kind of sad. Let me give these girls something to hope for.
Yeah.
And, give them some optimism.
Classic Carrie Bradshaw.
So she, she's like, yeah, we got the invitation for the party and it's the guy. So what if, there was some hope. It wasn't
just feeling,
she's settled. So she needed some hope for herself in that moment.
Yes. She's springboarding that hope for herself. And then, this episode ends with a damn Cleo Soul song. And I almost lost it because Cleo Soul's music, particularly, let me tell you all something. If you have not gotten into Cleo Soul's catalog, as soon as this episode ends, you need to explore it. Her music, one of my friends, when I was in a very dark place, like my favorite album from her is an album titled Mother. It is no skips. Like just such a beautiful voice, beautiful messaging. It's really healing music. Like Cleo Soul's, I love her. I got a chance to see her live a few months ago.
Did you go to the bowl?
Yes, I went to the bowl.
See, I missed the bowl. I did not go to the bowl.
Denver.
Everybody's at the bowl. I was so mad.
Oh my God.
And here's the thing, I didn't even really want to go. And then I saw everybody there. I was like, why the fuck didn't I go? I got it. I don't get FOMO often, but I got it.
A religious experience. Yeah, because she's one of those artists that don't come over here like that. Like it was so good. And yeah, so for them to end, I was like, oh my God. So good. And so that concludes season 3, episode 11. Denver, how do you rate this episode?
I'll give it a 7. But one thing I do want to say.
I was about to say dial it back. It looked like you about to dial it back.
No. It dawned on me when I was watching her in her apartment and whatever. What if, and this is kind of a prediction, but like in a perfect world, Lisette moves into Duncan's apartment downstairs.
Oh, at the Gramercy house.
Yes.
I didn't think about that.
So they can be 2 women and she can have a little mentor-mentee situation and they won't feel so lonely.
I don't know if I like that.
I would like it.
Lisette is still
and then we can do a spinoff of Lisette and then Carrie can pop in from time to time.
I would not mind a spinoff.
I would not mind a spinoff either.
This also pisses me off that we did not get Professor Morning Show in this season. Like it just pisses me off. She left. I know y'all want me to let it go, but those last few episodes of season 2 with Naya and the direction of her character, it just was turning out to be so good.
And another thing I should have said it earlier when I was talking about how we got the announcement and then it took some time to process. What took so long is like we kind of got cheated out of the long grieving process of knowing that the show is coming to an end. Like normally, you either get through a season and you're optimistic for another season and then you don't get it, or you get to go into the season knowing it's the final season. So you kind of get that
Well,
time.
that's what pisses
They
me
just kind of
off.
just snatched the rug. Oh, by the way, 2 more episodes left.
That's
What?
what pisses me off, because the promo tour could have been chef's kiss. The final and just like that is returning for a third and final season. Like, I felt like we should have known that. That's what makes me think that, like, this was not pre-planned. This, I don't care what they say or how they slice it. I just don't think this was pre-planned.
Yeah, maybe
I
right.
don't.
You
I
could be right.
don't. I rate this episode. You gave it a 6?
A 7.
You gave it a 7. I give it a 6.
Yeah, I could give it a 6 too. Honestly,
I give it a 6.
It was neither here nor there.
So this is my final time asking you this for And Just Like That. What are your predictions for next week?
Well, again, I would like for Lizette to move in
for the series finale.
Have that situation. I do think LTW is gonna just kind of shoo Marion off, and she's gonna focus on Herbert, and I think they're gonna, just be as solid as they are. I think that we're gonna find out it's not Brady's baby.
I think that as well. I think it's not going to be Brady's baby. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll probably find out at the table, and it'll be something Mia says
something
that's gonna
good and messy. Yeah.
Something stupid. Yeah. Something flippant.
Yeah.
What else? I think that Carrie will be okay. I think she'll stay in the house. I think she'll be okay. I think. Go ahead.
Yeah. I just was gonna say, because Carrie,
like there's nowhere to go.
It's nowhere to go, but Carrie is our girl, and I'm gonna need something substantive to put a bow on this franchise.
Do you want Duncan to come back?
Carrie's our girl. No, I don't need her to be necessarily in love with the man. I mean, I like when Carrie leans into, this makes me think of Insecure, how pissed I was. I hated that series finale when Issa got back with Lawrence. I felt that was such a step back for a woman in her mid-30s to go back to an ex and now play stepmother. Like, you got the world is your oyster. What are you doing, girl? So I don't need Carrie to be in love with the man. I just need it to be substantive and for our girl to end on a high note.
Well, I'm not saying be in love, but I'm saying like there's a new kind of like she ended the epilogue. Like there's a new possibility, like a new.
Yeah, adventure. In fairness, I liked the way that the last episode ended when she's in the backyard in the garden and we get that final shot.
You know what?
Something like that.
You know what?
It's something beautiful where my mind can wander and my girl looks happy and optimistic about the future. I know I'm gonna cry. Yeah. I know I'm gonna cry when this ends. I just feel because there's nothing to look forward to with these characters.
No, I don't even know. I think
that
I don't think Anthony and Giuseppe are gonna get married. I don't.
I think they are.
You think so?
We're not gonna see it, but I think that they are. I don't foresee that engagement being interrupted in the series finale. I think they're gonna get married. I think. Who did you comment on first? What did you say first? Because we're gonna
LTW and Marion.
So LTW and Marion. They have so much potential with that story. I really can't predict how they're going to wrap that up. And they have a responsibility to wrap it up because they've dangled it like a carrot in front of our faces for like half of the season, really. So you have to put emphasis on wrapping that up. You can't leave LTW and Marion open-ended. You can't.
No, I think they'll just chop it off.
That's going to annoy me. I want to see the premiere of the damn documentary, like the premiere party. I want to see Michelle Obama. I want to see, there's got to be a scene that jumps out that wraps that up. You can't leave that open. And I'm going to be so pissed.
I think somebody said, I think it was on Twitter, they were like, they want Carrie and her memoir to go on a book tour to London, bring the girls, go see Duncan, and end up at brunch with Samantha. Yes. Now, and it's a four of them at the table, and it fades to black.
That's how you do. And you know what's so crazy? This show wouldn't even show Samantha's face. It'd be the back of her head. Because it's not really Kim Cattrall. It's not really Kim Cattrall.
They would have to bring Kim in.
I don't think Kim ain't coming back.
I know.
Ever.
I know, but how? If you want to close a series, pay her whatever she wants.
Yeah, I don't think
let her
Kim.
film it. Let her film it separately. Put her in the chair. Let her cheers. Get her out of there.
And
Bring
then
the
put
3
3
girls.
stand-ins for the other
Comp it.
girls.
Yes. Comp it together and just do what needs to be done. I
That
wouldn't be
would
mad
be
at that.
sweet. That would be sweet. I do want to see how Carrie's going to end this book. This better not be the last time. Like what? Oh my gosh, what is the final voiceover going to say? Oh my gosh. We can go 1,000,001 different directions.
I'm sad.
I don't know what we haven't been doing much with Charlotte for the past like 4 episodes. I don't know what's going.
The whole
Like
season.
Charlotte's peak
Charlotte
was her
didn't have a
birthday
story.
party. Yeah, Charlotte.
She just kind of felt like a vehicle for other stuff.
For everybody
Like,
else, connective tissue, if you will, for everybody else.
Bury that.
Yeah. I also read that this didn't feel organic because of Kristen Davis's response to the announcement. Almost like she was caught off guard. I didn't see her response.
It was kind of brief. It was kind of
like
brief.
almost like she was caught off guard.
I didn't have a lot of time to prepare this.
Yeah. I think Seema and Adam will be just fine. Like it felt like they put a bow on that storyline this episode with Seema and Adam.
Yeah.
Who else do we have to
I want
cover?
them to be just happily ever after.
I feel like you said someone else though as well.
Miranda, Brady,
Carrie.
the baby.
Yes, Brady ain't gonna be the baby mama. I do have a spoiler for next episode if you want to know.
Oh, yeah, let's do it. Tell me.
There's something said, I guess Miranda says that Joy she's not coming to Thanksgiving dinner because she doesn't want to be wrapped up in family drama. So I don't know if that's going to happen or what's going to become of that. I think she and Joy will be just fine. I don't imagine them breaking up. I'm going to be so mad if they give Miranda the shit end of the stick for the series finale, as I need her. Just like I want Seema to win, I want Miranda to win and get her happily ever after.
I mean, I think Joyce is going to set her boundaries.
Yeah, which is fair.
Which was like, listen, I'm with you, but I can't. I can do alcoholism. I cannot do family drama.
And Brady roping me in. Did we cover everyone? Did we do we did Carrie, Seema, Charlotte, LTW,
Miranda,
and Anthony and Giuseppe. You said you don't think they're going to get married. So I guess we did everyone. Yeah, woo.
Well, our last episode.
Well, we have 2 more.
Of the series. I know we have 2 more.
No. Well, all right, you all. You know what to do.
Yes, now next week.
We're just like that. And I want to encourage everyone, if you have not left us a speak pipe, you don't have to do it for the finale, but because Denver and I are giving you all a bonus episode,
we'll have a speak pipe party.
Let's do a speak pipe party. Everyone will after the finale, I'm sure we'll be weighing in and that's what we'll talk about. But it's
I know it feels so weird because we didn't have time to prepare, man. I feel so weird.
No.
It feels
and
so
it's
weird.
over. It's over. Well, seasons change and so do contracts and renewals. So
Trump's fault, man.
I would love to. Let's see if I'm a DM SJP and see if she wants to come on.
Yeah,
I'll do it too. Within the next 2 weeks.
I will, or maybe I'll see if
I want to get like a cast member just for shits and giggles. Let's see. I got enough connections. Let's see if I can pull some strings. You do too.
Yeah, I'll pull my muscle.
Because we almost had someone last season. Remember?
Oh, I remember you saying that. Yeah.
We almost had someone. Well, you knew too. We both were trying to get her.
Yeah.
And it just didn't happen. Do you want to tell them on our last episode who it was?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll tell them on the last episode.
Tell them.
All right, y'all. Well, that concludes season 3, episode 11. And we will see you next week for the And Just Like That series finale.
Damn, I'm in Mexico. So just heads up. We will be doing the show. I know.
I'm going to be back in Los Angeles, or as Jamie Lee Curtis says, Los Angeles. I said I'm going to start saying it that way. I'm going to start saying it that way.
Good night. Good night. Say bye to the people.
Bye, y'all.
Girl, Los Angeles.
That's how it's pronounced.